we gonna work today? I think we did. I think we're live. Welcome back, Barbecue Pit. Just want to check my sound. Sound is good. UFC Vegas 20. Of course, we're in a new venue again. Trying to be a little quiet just so I don't wake anybody up. But starting right off, Alex Caceres, Kevin Croom is going to kick off the main card for us. Caceres 17-12 and 1 no contest on a 3-fight winning streak at the moment. With wins over Steve Peterson, Chase Hooper, and Austin Springer, which was his last fight in August of 2020. He's only been knocked out once, but is 6-7 by submission. So it's kind of iffy there by submission. Great kung fu and stand up. Going against Kroom, who's coming in at plus 170 underdog. 21-12 and 1 no contest. Last fight was a submission win over Roosevelt Roberts. But that was turned into a no contest after Kevin Kroom popped for marijuana. This will be his second fight in the UFC, meaning that first fight against Roberts was his debut. He's got 10 submission wins and 6 by knockout. He's got 4 submission losses, 4 by knockout. He's got wins over Charles Felony Bennett and Derek Minner prior to the UFC. Comes in at a slight underdog. I think he's got better jiu-jitsu, in my opinion. Going 4-10 or 10-4 to Caceres at 6-7. I think he might have a little bit of advantage there, but I think it's going to be more of a striking battle, and Alex Caceres probably notches out a decision win there. Angela Hill, the very extremely active Angela Hill taking on Ashley Yoder. 12-9 is Hill on a 2-fight losing streak at the moment because she lost 2 split decisions to Claudia Gadelha and there's somebody else that's going to bother me too because I didn't write it down. She's 6-7 in the UFC, never been knocked out in her career. Only been submitted twice, and that was to Ronda Marcos and Rose Namajunas. And she has 5 wins by TKO or knockout. She's a minus 315 favorite coming into the other split decision loss was to Michelle Waterson. There you go. I don't know why I didn't write that down. Yoder's 8-6, 4 submission wins, 4 by decision. All 6 of her losses are via decision, never been finished. 3-5 in the UFC, wins over Miranda Granger and Amanda Cooper. Has unanimous decision win over Angela Hill. Unanimous decision loss to Angela Hill in 2017. So this will be a rematch of 2017. I think Angela Hill takes it. I think it's pretty easy to see why she would take it. Jimmy Rivera, Pedro Munoz, already supposed to happen. Already took notes for this, and it got canceled. So we go to page 2 where they got the notes from. Munoz 10-5, 1 no contest. Never been finished in his career. 13-18 his wins via finish. 8 submissions, 5 knockouts. Currently on a 2-fight losing streak. Dropping decisions to Aljamain Sterling and Frankie Edgar. UFC wins include Rob Font, Brett Johns, Cody Garbrandt. He's black belt in jiu-jitsu. While Rivera is a black belt in karate. 23-4. Only been finished once. He got knocked out by Marlon Moraes in that one finish. 17-3 by decision. 7-3 in the UFC. His wins include Pedro Munoz, split decision 2015. Uriah Faber, John Dodson, Cody Stenman. Stenman was actually his last fight. A lot of people say, rematches are kind of pointless. But then you got to look at Conor, Nate. You got to look at, a bunch of rematches. Of course, there's the Jones and the Cormiers and a bunch of fights that don't change in result. But there's a ton of fights where the rematch is 10 times better than the first one, a lot closer, and sometimes, you never know, one guy can get better than the other. I don't think this is one of those situations. I think Jimmy Rivera's striking is too good, and Pedro Munoz will not be able to get the fight to the floor at will like he would like to, so I'm going to go Jimmy Rivera. Montana De La Rosa will take on Myra Bruno Silva. De La Rosa is 11-6, 8 wins by submission, only been knocked out once, submission, and only got submitted once. That one submission loss was to Mackenzie Dern 2016 because Dern, second, third degree black belt. So nothing to be ashamed of there for De La Rosa. Her one TKO loss was to Cynthia Calvillo 1 fight later, 2017. She's 4-2 in the UFC, wins over Mara Romero Barella, Nadia Kasim, and Rachel Ostovich. I don't think any of those ladies are still in the UFC. Silva is 7-1, 5 wins by submission, 1 by knockout, 2-1 in the UFC. She submitted Jillian Robinson and Romero Barilla, and then she lost the decision to Myra Moros. So Jillian Robinson and Moros both in the UFC still. I think it's going to come down to who's got better jiu-jitsu. My bet it's going to go to Montana De La Rosa. Plus 110, if you want to put some money down, it's a pretty good money line to lay down. I think I'm going to go Montana De La Rosa. Nikita Krylov, Magomed, and Kalaev. Article coming to MMAsucker.com tomorrow for a preview on that fight. Krylov, 26-7, 25 out of 26 his wins and finishes, 10 knockouts, 15 submissions. He only has one TKO loss in his career. That's to Soa Palini, 2013. He's 2-2 since returning to the UFC with wins over Johnny Walker and Oven St. Preux. Losses to Han Blachowicz and Glover Teixeira, who are both in the picture for the light heavyweight title right now. Blachowicz the champion, Glover coming in as a alternate, I guess, for Adesanya. He was 6-3 in his first UFC stint, so he went 6-3, got cut, comes back 2-2 so far. So he's got to step it up, or else he's going to be kind of on the bad end of that stick again. And Kalaev is 14-1. His only loss was a submission loss to Paul Craig in his UFC debut. He's 5-1 in the UFC. 5-fight winning streak, of course. Wins over Ion Kutawala twice. The first one, of course, we know Kutawala was kind of trying to bait him, acting like he was out. The referee stopped it. Second one, very, very good stoppage. He actually knocked out Kutawala. And then the only other notable one I could possibly look for was Dolce Lungbula, who just fought. He's on the tear right now in the UFC. 9 out of 14 of his wins via TKO. He has problems with the ground game. He's got problems when people are able to take him down and hold him there. Krylov, veteran, been at the UFC level, knows what it takes to stay there. I think he's going to be pretty smart and be able to take the fight down, hold him down, and try to just work his submissions while he's down there. If not, just work his ground and pound and finish out the fight. It's coming in at a plus 275. That's huge. Minus 350 for Ankalaev. I think, he doesn't have a liability on the ground. He's good on the ground, but going up against a guy like Krylov, the chance of him taking him down are so high. I don't understand the odds there, but I'm going to go Krylov first underdog of the main card for me. Jornizo Rozenstruik versus Cyril Gane. This is another one. I kind of feel like the odds are swayed a little weird. Rozenstruik plus 210. Gane minus 270. Gane is only 7-1. Pro Muay Thai 7-0. Pro MMA 4-0 in the UFC with wins over Junior Dos Santos, Tanner Boser, and Dontel Mays. 6 out of 7 of his wins via finish. 3 submissions, 3 knockouts. He's going up against a striking wizard in Rozenstruik, who is 76-8 as a pro kickboxer, 11-1 in MMA, 5-1 in the UFC. Of course, that only loss being that knockout loss to Francis Ngannou. He's got wins over Junior Dos Santos, Alistair Overeem, Andrei Arlovski. So he's been through it. 10 out of 11 his MMA wins via TKO or knockout. He's been through, everything you would want a contender to go through to get to the point where he is. He's been through adversity with losing to Ngannou. He could either take it one of two ways. He could take it as he thinks he's not good enough and he can lose and lose and lose and then get cut by the UFC and actually be not good enough. Or he could take it as Francis Ngannou is one of the better heavyweights in the entire world and just get back on the horse, keep training, and get into the win column, which I think he has high ability to do here against Gane, who used to train with Ngannou a little while ago before Ngannou went to the UFC PI, but is just really new. He's got 7 pro Muay Thai fights and 7 pro MMA fights. He made his pro debut like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or something like that. So, fighting a guy like Rozenstruik this early on in your career, I think, is kind of hard. He fought Junior Dos Santos. Santos kind of on the back end of his career, though. Rozenstruik, on the other hand, is a veteran of striking, but is new to MMA. So he's going to be around for a while. He's not on a decline at all. I think this is going to easily go to Rozenstruik, in my opinion. Sorry. Thiago Moise is taking on Alexander Hernandez. On the undercard, Sabina Mazo versus Alexa Davis. William Knight taking on Alonzo Menefield. Vince Carricho versus Ronnie Lawrence should be a good fight. Dustin Jacoby versus Maxim Gresham. And they just announced Alex Oliveira's opponent today. I'm going to take a look at who it was. I know I'm going to fucking shit the bed at pronouncing this guy's name. He's got one of those Magomedov names. And that is going to be Ramazan Kuragomedov. Whatever, is the younger brother of... Oh, no, that's a different one. Razaman Kamagomedov, who just won his Contender Series fight last year. Probably should have been in the UFC a little while ago. It's going to be a good fight for Alex Oliveira. You know, Alex Oliveira is a veteran, seasoned guy who's kind of coming into a new wave of evolving his striking and his grappling. So it's going to be interesting to see how he deals with the young blood of Kurmagomedov. What's the following? I think the next fight we got is March 6th. It's going to be Adesanya Blachowicz. We were just talking about Adesanya Blachowicz. 3 title fights, though, I believe. So let me look up what we got here. Blachowicz, Adesanya, Amanda Nunes taking on Megan Anderson, and Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling, Islam Makhachev, Drew Dober, and then Alexander Rakic versus Thiago Santos is rounding off the main card. Undercard's badass. Dominic Cruz, Casey Kenny, Song Yadong, Kyler Phillips, Joey Benavidez versus Askar Askarov. Carlos Uhlberg be making his UFC debut. Sean Brady versus Jake Matthews is a good fight. Euros Medic will be making his debut against Alan Cruz. Jeez, Tim Elliott versus Jordan Espinoza. I mean, it's not this Saturday, but next Saturday it's stacked to the gills, man. I mean, to make that fight card any worse, you got to start dropping fights. Which let's hope and pray that doesn't happen. I didn't know that loud ass thing was going to turn on, but I think it's going to be a good one. This Saturday should be a good one too. It's just it's a lot more main card heavy. Until next Tuesday, we'll be back next Tuesday to do the Blachowicz and Adesanya main card preview. Until then, stay barbecued, guys. Appreciate you hanging out with me, and know what you think. Check out the fights.